Hello and welcome to another update video about LINK. LINK has developed actually quite well, has actually developed perfectly and has now reached my target for the third wave here to the upside. We're talking about wave 3 of 5. This wave 5 is obviously an ending diagonal in this larger impulse that started to develop in June. So anybody who watched my videos previously is very much aware of this structure and that we were watching for another high. And yep, that has worked out. So we have that new high, but I would like to still see it go a little bit higher to get to my target range of $21 plus in this fifth wave, the last wave of this impulse. Also, the market has respected well this price channel. However, I would prefer a bit of a pullback before we get one more high. So we take a look at that. So far, however, no reasons to change basically our scenario. Okay, so it's been respected nicely by the price. Okay, so let's take a look at the structure from the June low. We had here this swing low that formed obviously at around $5 in June last year. Then a wave 1 to the upside, which was the first wave of that impulse. A wave 2 to the downside. A wave 3 to the upside. A wave 4 to the downside. And we could now be in this wave 5. It's a really nice structure. Wave 4 and 2 often have the same length. I always have to say that. Not always, okay, but often, very often we see that across the board right now. Again, it's not always the case. But when we have a healthy wave 2, it does make sense to consider the wave 4 as well as a very healthy one. And honestly, they both pretty much have exactly the same length, duration, I should say. And also, this is a chart that visualizes really well the so-called alternation guideline or principle in Elliott wave, in which the wave 2, when the wave 2 is a so-called sharp correction, and you clearly see this was quite sharp, we have a clear swing low, then the wave 4 is typically a sideways correction. And yeah, I mean, you can clearly see it's just been moving sideways. There is more to this. There are different types of structures that apply here. But that's one of the principles in Elliott wave. Had the wave 2 been sideways oriented, we would have expected the wave 4 to be rather sharp. Basically just, if we just mirror this, right? Okay, anyway, the idea is currently and has been that the wave 4 completed here on the 23rd of, no, it was the 8th of January actually. That dip was the 23rd. Yeah, that on the 8th of January, the wave 4 finished. We have here this expanded flat pattern and the price turned around in my trading area. The idea was then that the wave 5 is likely unfolding. Okay, and this is currently being followed. So in my primary scenario, I expect this structure. Wave 1 complete, wave 2 complete, wave 3 possibly complete, at least we reached my target. Now we could see a bit of a wave 4 pullback and a wave 5. So in the primary scenario, one more high is likely. I would prefer, however, a bit of a healthy wave 4 pullback before that wave 5 occurs. That could be in line with the C wave on the Bitcoin chart if you follow the Bitcoin videos as well. A more direct breakout is possible, of course, but it would take a break above $18.30 to confirm. The $18 level was my ideal target here for this third wave. How come? It's very simple. A target for a third wave, in this case within wave 5, is typically the minimum, is the 1.236 extension here at $18. The 1.38, as you might know from previous videos, is typically the ideal target. That's at $18.50. So we landed exactly in the middle of that at the previous resistance here. The green line represents a structural resistance level. So it landed where it needed to land. So that means now we have to watch for pullbacks. Doesn't mean the pullback will happen. A more direct breakout is possible, but I would prefer a pullback from here just because we landed in the ideal area. Also, target for a C wave. So if we take these subdivisions into account, we take the length of the A wave and compare that to the length of the C wave. The 100% extension level is an ideal target, and that's at $18. So we reached that and we see a first reaction. Let's see. I mean, it is the ideal spot to show us a bit of a pullback. Nothing bearish. I'm talking here simply about a bit of a pullback in an overall uptrend. Okay, so if that pullback occurs, then this is the support area. Very important. I haven't got any confirmation for that pullback at this stage other than a small reaction to resistance. So it is very much possible we simply extend higher from here. even if just a little bit. So obviously we also have this trend line here. So it might be that we just test that resistance and then come down. In that case, I would have to adjust the support area just slightly. If a pullback happens, however, this is the support range that we need to watch for. It starts at $15.12 and ends at $16.98. So these are 4 Fibonacci levels here: 16.98, 16.24, 15.67 and 15.11. That could be relevant. Ideally though, even if this is a wave 4 of an ending diagonal, we would not even see a break below $15.67 because it would indicate weakness. So that's a support level to watch for. And then the next high should ideally take us to $21 plus. Okay, what would be a target if we break out more directly? Well, it's the ascending trend line I would pay attention to. That might just be at around $19. But also we can just look at further extensions for wave 3. Okay, so the same way that we determined the ideal target for a third wave, what are further extensions? Well, we've got $19.46 would be a reasonable level to watch for. And then actually, yeah, my $21 level. Again, I'm talking about $21 ideally for wave 5, but it could be sometimes a third wave extends. We often get that in crypto. It's just that we've reached now an ideal target plus resistance level. So yeah, I'm basically watching for a pullback. But if it extends higher, then that would consequently mean that also the target for that wave 4 support basically will increase as well, as you can see. In addition to that, the target for the wave 5 will also increase. I would have to move everything a little bit higher. So it might then be that the wave 5 would eventually reach $24, maybe even 30, even though that's quite extended. So there's going to be something in between there. But so far going well. So yeah, what happens if we break below $15.11? So we should talk about the bearish case as well, because obviously it's not a crystal ball. It just tells you about the relevant levels and pivots to watch, to which the price should show a reaction. Yeah, but what if we break through? So if we see a break below $15.12, I think there is a good likelihood that actually wave 4 is still unfolding. I know it would be frustrating, but you know, we would probably just test the orange support area again between $12.95 and $9 and yeah, around about 78. So that's my update about Link. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.